Welcome back to another episode of Lone Star College Football. We got me and Logan uh, in a video again today. I posted the Texas pregame show without him. I had Preston Andrews on. He helped us out with that. But Logan's back. And today
Oh
we're going
yeah.
to talk about our Lone Star poll. We've looked at the AP poll. We watched some games, saw how they turned out, some upsets, some expected wins, some close games. And we're here to talk about it. So, Logan, I'm going to throw this to you. And why don't you go ahead and open us up with your top five?
All right. Man, I just want to go ahead and throw that out there. We were going to make a Baylor post game. I promise I wasn't running from that one. We just didn't like our schedules didn't line up. We both had a crazy weekend. Or Sundays were crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
they were.
but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into my top five. So starting it off, I got Georgia again. Then I got Michigan, Ohio State, Bama, Clemson.
All right. So, right off the bat, you've got some differences for sure.
Yeah.
Um, so, here's the thing as far as the top five, I've got Georgia at number one. I kept Bama at two, just because when you look at the schedule now and Ohio State, Michigan, and Clemson, to my knowledge, they haven't played any ranked teams. Texas is now ranked, so I didn't feel like I should drop Bama. I felt like Bama should drop because they didn't didn't even almost cover the spread they were given. So I did
Yeah,
drop
that's
them and
why
I
I
bumped
dropped him
right.
on that one.
And so I've got it the my five are the exact same as the AP poll. Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Michigan, and Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and honestly, even my number six is USC. It's not until I get to seven where I really have a difference. And my number seven is actually off by a couple compared to the AP poll. I have Arkansas at seven, where the AP
Mm-hmm.
poll has Oklahoma. Arkansas, they played a ranked Cincinnati to start the season off. Oklahoma hasn't played anybody. To be fair, they won like 33-3 against Kent State. I didn't feel like that was impressive enough for me to try to move them up that much. Uh, but I do have them at number eight, where the
Yeah.
AP poll has Oklahoma State. It a lot of mine are really just kind of like one off because I bumped. Who did I bump out? Um, A&M. A&M was in the top 10, bumped them out, and so it's just off by one. So I've got OK State at nine, where they have Kentucky. I've got Kentucky at 10, where they have Arkansas. So it's just kind of off. This is a I don't know. I didn't have too much shakeup from the people this week.
Yeah. Mine's a little different. Most of mine is different, really. But I just want to go back. Ohio State played Oregon, and no, that was Georgia that played Oregon. Who did Ohio State play? They played
Um,
somebody. Um,
Here, I'll tell you real quick.
it just slipped off the top of my head.
They played Notre Dame in week one and Arkansas State last week.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been more impressed with Michigan and Ohio State than I have with Bama, especially after this past week, how they didn't even get close to covering the spread. I think that y'all showed the world like where their downfall can be, and I love it.
Me too.
Um,
Me too.
but let me go ahead and move to 6 through 10. So I got Oklahoma State, OU, Kentucky, USC, Arkansas. I am far more impressed by Oklahoma State than OU this year. Dylan Gabriel is not playing great. He's not playing bad, but he's not playing great. And they haven't played anybody. Um, I don't know.
I
I just
mean,
haven't seen a whole lot of them. Same with USC. I don't think USC has really played anybody either, so I'm still kind of iffy on that one. But I was really tempted to put Kentucky over OU.
yeah, I think my Oklahoma State, they week one, they won 58-44 against Central Michigan. Last week they won 34-17 over a pretty bad Arizona State. And They scored 14 in the fourth. So I mean that at one point the score was 20-17 in the fourth quarter
Yeah.
against Arizona State. I'm not impressed enough with them. Honestly, they might even be too high. I probably should have put Kentucky over them in my looking back at it.
I mean, going into halftime, OU was only up 7-3 against Kent
Yeah,
State, and then
terrible.
came out of
It's terrible.
halftime and donkey stomped. But
Is that a donkey stomp?
well,
To win
not really.
33-3?
I mean, in the third quarter, they scored 24. Like they beat them
Yeah,
in the
which means
third
in the
quarter,
fourth quarter they didn't do much of nothing.
and they had two. There's two. A
Oh,
safety.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, what's your 11 through 15?
So I got BYU, Michigan State, Miami, Utah, Texas on that one.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's like I said in the last one. Texas deserves way more respect than what they're given, for sure.
I like it.
But yeah,
I like it.
it's the same teams. It's just mixed up in a couple different spots. Well, except
Yeah.
for Texas.
Well, you're mixed up with me a little bit as well. I have BYU as at 11. I've where the AP poll has Michigan State. I have Michigan State at 12, where they have
Mm,
BYU. I've got Miami at 13, where they have Miami. And then at 14, I've actually got the Tennessee Volunteers. They went out and kind of impressed me. Pitt played pretty well, in my opinion, against West Virginia.
yeah.
And Tennessee went out there and handled business. The AP poll has Utah at 14. I've got Utah at 15, where the AP poll has Tennessee. Um,
Mm,
I think Utah's still good. They had a week one slump. I think in a way, myself included, Utah lost a week one, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're not as good as I thought. Sometimes week one is just week one, and it just has to be what it is and move on and expect these teams to get better as the season progresses. So, that being said, going into 16, I have the Florida Gators at 16, where the AP poll has NC State. I'll go ahead and tell y'all NC State is still not in my top 25. That week one, 21-20 against Eastern Carolina. Until you play somebody that deserves moving back in, you're not going to be in my top 25. At 17 is where I have the Longhorns, where the AP poll has Baylor. I think it's cool because it's kind of you don't really see a team lose and move up in the poll.
yeah.
So last week in the AP poll, they were like technically 28, and now in the AP poll, they're number 21. Um, but we played a pretty tough Bama team. They were 20-point favorites. We lost by one. We had an opportunity to win. Some bad luck, but is what it is. Gonna move on. At number 18 is where I have the Baylor Bears. I dropped them last week. I had Baylor at number 8. So I dropped them 10 spots with the loss at BYU.
Mm,
It would have been more if mm, it would have been more if it was at home. I would have dropped Baylor more. But I think with that being
yeah.
an away game, I feel like that loss, it's still a loss. It's in the L category, just like ours, but it kind of has a different weight
Yeah,
to it, in
it's
my
different.
opinion.
I mean, BYU's an underrated team for sure by
Yeah.
the by fans. Maybe not as far as AP. And I think this game showed the AP poll that hey, BYU they're a good team even without their two best receivers. But I mean, BYU's a solid team. They got dogs. They got dogs. Your audio's off.
I said they were even missing 2 receivers, so they're even better whenever they get these other players back.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, at 8 or at 19, I have Wake Forest, which matches up with the AP poll. Sam Hartman's back. I think he played this week when I didn't know. It seemed like at the beginning of the season he wasn't going to play.
Hmm.
And then at 20, I have Ole Miss, right where the AP poll has them as well.
Yeah, that's where I got Ole Miss. But for 16 through 19, since I just gave up my 20 spot, I got Tennessee, Wake Forest, North Carolina State, Baylor. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know what was going on. I mean, I guess I can get more into that on our lock squad because that's where I think I made
Yeah.
a lot of more points. But
Yeah.
this Baylor team going in, I mean, I knew it was going to be a battle in Provo with a bunch of young kids. Like we have a really young team,
Same.
especially with a. I don't even know if I'd call Blake Shapen second year, but I mean he is. So, but this is a young kid. None of those guys have ever been to Provo and played there, and it's something. I mean, I stayed up all night, watched that game. Christian fell asleep while we were on the phone talking about the game.
Yeah, I
um,
did. It's
it,
like 12:40. I was like, come on, somebody
dude,
win.
the camera was shaking. The whole like it was crazy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, I got Ole Miss at 20, right where they people has it.
Lead us in through your 21 through 25.
That's what I got. Kansas State, Penn State, App State, Cincy, Kansas. Rock chalk.
Wow.
Kansas so
Wow.
Kansas is undefeated, which is really weird to say.
Yeah. um, so you dropped A&M out completely.
Yep.
I
Notre
think it's
Dame's
fair.
out, A&M's out.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I dropped Notre Dame out.
I
Um,
almost threw Marshall in there for the memes.
yeah, well, then you'll like mine. Uh, at 21, I have Penn State, where the AP poll has the University of Texas. At 22, I have Pitt, where they have Penn State. At number 23, I have Appalachian State, where
Yo,
they've got Pitt. At
yo,
24, I've got the Texas A&M Aggies, which is also where the AP poll has them. I dropped them a lot, man. Like we
yeah.
last week,
I mean,
I
you
had them
have
at
to.
7. I had them at 7, dropped them to 24. That's what, 17 spots.
I forgot what
They
the spread
lost
was on that game. What was
some
it,
19. It
17?
was 19.
Oh,
So they lost a bad game. I didn't drop them out. Um,
they're like the
mainly
first ones out.
right. There was almost a team or two where I considered putting them in. And to be honest, when I looked at it, it's like, well, why didn't I? It's because if those two teams played, I would probably pick them over A&M, but
Hmm.
only if A&M played like that. Like I have
I
trouble
think that's just how
believing.
A&M's going to play this year.
I hope so, but I don't know that yet. We'll know their schedule is tough. We might have to make another video on A&M because honestly, guys, there is a chance A&M's like 1-7 when before it's all set. I'm not even joking. We
Because
got
they're
to look at
like
their
Baylor, they
schedule.
got a lot of crazy road games, right?
Yeah, well, I know they've got Miami coming to town. Then they go Arkansas. Then I think they play Bama. I
They
know they
should
have
be at
Mississippi
Bama this
State
year.
coming up. I know they have South Carolina coming up, LSU. And so there's winnable games, but it's like every team I listed is better than App State. So
Dude, they're going on a 3 game road. After they have Miami, number 13 Miami at home, they have number 10 Arkansas. Then they got Mississippi State on the road, Alabama on the road, South Carolina on the road. Then it's ranked Ole Miss, ranked Florida at home, then Auburn, and then the University of Massachusetts out of nowhere.
I don't
And
know, but they
then
might lose to them. Never know.
then they have senior night against LSU on November 26th.
I can honestly see a 2-10. If they play just like that, it's easy 2-10. I wouldn't predict it. I would guess that they
That
probably end up winning 4 or 5 more games,
they're
but
beating Bama, bro.
No, they're not. But leading into my number 25, I've got the Marshall Herd,
Yes, sir.
where the AP poll has Oregon. I have to say one thing, and this is going to be posted to YouTube, so it's public records. I will be on file. I was wrong about Notre Dame. They were overrated. I was like, nah, Logan, they recruit well. They deserve to be there. Yeah, they choke against teams like Ohio State. They'll run through the rest of their schedule. No, they won't. No, they won't.
But I think they threw 3 picks in the last quarter.
Hey, that
I think
dude's
Buckley
bad.
threw 2, and then the backup came in and threw 1 on his second attempt.
Yeah, threw a pick six to who'd you say, Stephon Gilmore's little brother?
I think that's what they said. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. That's good for him. I hope he can
Pretty
transfer
cool.
to a school and get some recognition.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
Um,
I think you putting Kansas State in, I think that was warranted. They played well. Deuce Vaughn's a beast. I left Oregon out just barely. Um,
yeah, Oregon was a bubble team as well. I almost threw the A&M in there, but then I was like, you know what? Nah.
well, yeah, I wanted App State in there. They had to be in there. And it worked out well because I got to put them in there, and all I had to do really was just drop keep dropping NC State out. And then I just dropped Oregon out. So that made those 2 spots. But you got
Surprised you
anything
didn't
else
say
to add on this?
anything. I'm just surprised you didn't say anything about me putting Baylor lower than the AP poll did.
I mean, to be honest, like I said, I had them
What?
at 18 and they have them at 17. So I had them a little bit lower. But Baylor's a team where I could still look at them and still actually consider them a top 15 team. And I feel like I've also seen a little bit of that is concerning to me.
Yeah.
I could probably also convince myself to drop them in that 23 to 22, 21 range. So I kind of met it in the middle. And I think it's fair. Like
I
y'all didn't
was
lose to a bad
honestly
team.
I was honestly surprised that we were ranked in the AP poll. I saw that one loss and I was like, nope.
But
There you go.
you lost to a rank. I've been trying to tell you this, Logan. It's weighted wins and losses. Your wins aren't always a win. Like if a win against Bama is not the same as beating Marshall. It's not the same. A loss to Bama is not the same. Clearly, Texas lost and jumped. It's not the same. But
If we would
yeah,
have just made that field goal, where would we be?
that's true.
Hmm.
That's true. You know what? Us too. We missed a field goal at half. So where if we had made that field goal, got some penalties that should have been called and a safety, where would we be? We might be number one right now. I don't know. I don't know. But that being said, we're gonna log this one off. And we're going to go ahead and record our Lone Star locks. So y'all be looking out for that. It'll be somewhere down here at the end of this video. We appreciate y'all. Let us know in the comments what y'all think. Where did we mess up? Where should your team have been ranked? Y'all can find him at L Patterson _3. You can find me at Christian H _88. And you can find our channel on Twitter at Lone Star _CFB. Appreciate y'all.